26 minutes after 5 o'clock here on ENCA News Grid for a Sunday afternoon. And just in time for dinner, have you made plans yet? Well, you might want to rethink the takeaways you're about to order. A journey that began in the dusty streets of Soweto has now led to the legend, Dorah Sitole, becoming a food industry icon. The award-winning author and former editor of True Love magazine has now written a book sharing her journey. It's entitled 40 Years of Iconic Food, and what a privilege it is to have Mam Dorah joining us here on the show. And Mam Dorah, first of all, congratulations, 40 years.
Thank you. 40 years, yes.
How does that feel to know you can put 40 years of your experiences with food into a book?
No, it's impossible. I mean, it would have been 2 books or 4 books, because I have so many recipes. So it was quite a task just to choose the recipes that I wanted to go into the book. And it was painful. I had to leave some out that I loved dearly, you know, because all your recipes are like your children. So, but then I had to think, okay, which ones can I put in that people will really enjoy cooking or that really resonates with me?
You were once quoted, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mam Dorah, that you cook to keep our culture alive. You're not just cooking because it's yummy. This is a much deeper story for you, isn't it?
It is deeper if you look at it that way, because, I mean, who else can preserve our culture if not us? And us, the grown-ups, have to kind of pass it down. And our children now are learned. So it's no longer like I've put in a handful of that, a teaspoon of that. You can actually write it down that it's 250 milliliters, it's a cup, it's 5 ounces, so that they keep cooking. Because, I mean, it's easy. We learned from our mothers, from watching. So what I did, even when I was traveling, I would watch the mothers cooking, the women cooking, and I would write down the amounts so that I have it in a kind of like an understandable recipe.
So before you start unpacking what I can only believe is going to be the yumminess in these 2 pots,
I hope so.
Give me, if you can, I mean, everyone's going to go and buy your book, they're going to download your book, they're going to buy your book for friends, that whole thing. Can you give me your top 3 dishes, your top 4 dishes, Mam Dorah? I'll tell you why. One from each decade. Or have I put you on the spot?
You have, actually.
Okay, give it a go. Give it a try.
You know, like, for instance, my first chapter, which is all the recipes that I grew up on, that's so close to my heart. Like, it's almost like I love all the recipes in there. And actually, strangely enough, when thinking about what to bring now, I actually took 2 recipes.
You can take the lids off for us. We've got a camera on there for you, so we can see what you got.
I took the recipes from that chapter. This is moroho, which could be anything from spinach, amaranth, which is imbuya, or kale. So I usually just mix them all together. And then, but I've made it into a curry and added potatoes and some just nice, fiery curry spices.
I wish we had smell-o-vision or something like that, because I don't think
so
you can
nice.
understand what this smells like. That smells absolutely delicious. So we can get a shot of that from the top. Our camera is there. So just tell me again what's in there. I think dish up.
Okay,
let's have a little bite.
Put some in here.
This is the fun part about doing a show like this. I actually get to taste some food for it.
There's spinach, there's kale, there's young potatoes or new potatoes, there's some chili, as you can see, and then I've used all my nice curry spices and threw in some curry leaves as well. Like
so this is vegetarian? You could add whatever you want.
Completely. Actually, the 2 dishes are both vegetarian.
Well, my wife's vegetarian, so I think I know.
So these are all like plant-based dishes, you know. So, I mean, everything that's in here is vegetarian. I haven't even used, you know, any animal fat. I've used olive oil. So that's your kind of, it can be a side dish. Have it if you are not a vegetarian, with meat, chicken, or beef. And like I said, I made a curry first and then added the leaves, which was spinach, in this case spinach and kale.
I need to ask a question, but I just want to make sure that I'm not within striking distance of you. So we've got a social distance here. Have you matured as a cook, as a chef? And I'm not talking about your age before you stab me with the fork. I'm talking about your cooking style. Thank you. Here's the book. Thank you, team.
I wouldn't have. I actually love
Here's the book, by the way. Have I got a camera that's nice and close? Camera 2, where I am. There, where am I? There. Thank you, team. There it is for you. That's the book we're talking about. Dorah Sitole, 40 Years of Iconic Food. So 40 years ago, you were experimenting, you were cooking because your mother was too busy to cook. You took over. 40 years later, have you matured as a cook?
I believe I have. I believe I have. And I believe I've also, I'm now secure, or kind of like I'm very happy with what, when you're experimenting, you actually don't know what it is that you really love. Then the next thing, you're cooking Japanese, the next thing Mexican. But I cook all that type of food, but now I know that my food from South Africa is the best.
So you can cook Western, you can cook Pan-African, you can cook Township. What's your favorite? You invite me to Mam Dorah's house on a Sunday lunch. What's the one you're going to make for me? What's the one that you're going to go for?
I'll probably make you my East African fish curry. I'll probably make you this pap that I've made here.
Go ahead and open for it,
which is, we call it isijini.
Isijini. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I've got a nod.
Fine. Good enough. Good enough. Right. So isijini is basically just your pap that you mix with pumpkin. So it's so yummy. And then you can add whatever fat you want to use. You can use peanut oil. You can add butter if you're not vegan. Whatever fat you want to use. And it's actually quite nice. But because I had to cook and bring this food to the studio, so it has gone solid a bit, but which is also fine. Because as you're cooking, it's quite runny.
The problem that I think when many people think, I'm going to go and buy a cookbook or anything like that, I'm going to download the PDF of a cookbook, people start thinking the food is expensive, that you have to have a lot of money to cook the way that you do. And looking at what you just explained to me in these two pots, that simply isn't true. It's a misnomer.
True. It's pumpkin with maize meal. And if you want to make something else, which you call iskwaqana, you use beans. You cook them until they're soft. You mash them and you add some mealie meal to it and a bit of butter or olive oil.
Before I start saying goodbye to you, and I'm going to climb into your food, you don't know this yet though, but tell me why, Mam Dorah, we are on, it says on the back of your book here, why are we on the cusp of an African food revolution? What's happening? Why are we about to go into this revolution?
I think there's so much noise now. You have all these young chefs, in South Africa, which is exciting. They're all cooking, they all have food shows, they're all like on Insta, they're writing books. So there is so much noise. So there is no way that the world can ignore that noise. So I think finally the world is going to sit up and listen.
Are you on the Instas? Are you on the gram, the Facebooks, the Twitter? You are.
I'm all off them.
You didn't want to say yes, did you? You were like,
yes.
Did I say yes?
Well, I am actually.
Where can people find you? There's the book. Obviously, we can go and find that. All good bookstores, any website you can find it. But if people want to now talk to Mam Dorah, I've had a great opportunity to speak to you, but your fans want to speak to you. So where can we find you? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Yes.
What's the name?
Facebook, Dorah Sitole. All of them, actually.
Nice and easy.
Even Insta, Dorah Sitole. I think Twitter, Dorah Lydia. Facebook, Dorah Sitole.
Easy enough to find. Easy enough to find. Dorah, congratulations, not just on the book, but on the food, but an incredible career and keeping the culture of African food alive. And as you say, getting us ready for this African food revolution. You've seen the book. We had it on camera just a moment ago. Congratulations. I'm going to take a bite before we go so that the food's not going anywhere. My crew are here just waiting to fly in to get hold of your food. Dorah Sitole, author and food stylist. 40 years of iconic food, a revolution on her own and a revolution on the way, according to Dorah Sitole.